Welcome to the National Enabling Programme's Showcase demonstration. In this video, we will take you through a user journey focusing on third-party collaboration using Microsoft Teams and a multi-agency safeguarding hub. This journey will show you some of the new ways that forces will be able to collaborate with external agencies as a result of the National Enabling Programmes. Meet Inspector John Bates. He's a member of the Hallamshire Police's MASH. This enables Hallamshire Police to collaborate with other local agencies on safeguarding issues. Members of these agencies can be added to a Microsoft Teams site as a guest when they need to collaborate. Part of Inspector Bates' role within the MASH is to liaise with the local education authority. The contact there is Patrick Sullivan. Inspector Bates opens Microsoft Teams and goes to the Hallamshire MASH Teams site. Within this Teams site, there are multiple channels, some for cases, some for meeting minutes, and some with lists of outstanding actions. Inspector Bates wants to know if his contact, Patrick Sullivan, has already been added as a guest to the MASH. To do this, he goes to the General channel on the Teams site and opens the MASH Membership tab. This tab contains a list of all the agencies that are part of the MASH and members who are guest users. Inspector Bates can see that the Hallamshire Local Education Authority is not currently represented. He therefore needs to add Patrick Sullivan as a guest. Inspector Bates is unsure how to do this and navigates to the MASH Guide tab. This was written by Superintendent Emma Brown, who is responsible for safeguarding efforts within the Hallamshire Police. As such, she is the owner of the MASH team site and has permission to add or remove members. The guide tells Inspector Bates that to add an external party, he must complete the access request form available via the link provided. He navigates to the form and enters the relevant information and then submits it. This will be sent to Superintendent Brown via email. Let's switch users and now move to Superintendent Emma Brown. Superintendent Brown receives a notification that Inspector Bates has completed the access request form and would like an external user to be added as a guest to the team site. She clicks View Results and selects the response by Inspector Bates. This will give her all the information she needs to add Inspector Bates' guest. She is aware that Patrick Sullivan has previously worked with Hallamshire Police on a different team and therefore is already a guest within the directory. To add him as a guest to this particular team site, she navigates to Microsoft Teams, then onto the Hallamshire MASH team site. She clicks Add Members and inputs the email address that Inspector Bates supplied in this form. Patrick Sullivan is now a guest member of the Hallamshire MASH team site and can collaborate with other members. Let's switch users again and move back to Inspector Bates. Inspector Bates is working with Patrick Sullivan on safeguarding case 601. As part of their work on this case, Inspector Bates needs to share a file containing information extracted from police systems with Patrick Sullivan. It is proportionate and necessary that Inspector Bates shares this file with a member of the local education authority as quickly as possible in a secure manner so that they can progress the case. Now that Superintendent Brown has added Patrick Sullivan as a guest member, he can see documents that Inspector Bates has uploaded to the MASH. Inspector Bates is aware that this information should not be read by other guest users and wants to classify this document so that it can only be read by himself and Patrick Sullivan. To do this, he navigates to his OneDrive, finds the document, and applies a custom classification. Using Azure Information Protection software, he classifies it as Demo Official Sensitive with custom protection so that it can only be viewed by himself and Patrick Sullivan. With the classification safely applied, he opens Microsoft Teams and goes to the channel for case 601. This channel, devoted to the case he is currently working on, has a Files tab. Within this tab, he uploads a document that he would like Patrick Sullivan to see. He then sends him an instant message through Microsoft Teams to inform him that the document has been uploaded for him to view. At this point, we switch users again and now move to Patrick Sullivan, the external guest. Patrick Sullivan receives an email telling him that he has been added to the MASH team site. He clicks the link and it takes him through to Microsoft Teams. The instant message from Inspector Bates informs him that he can now navigate to the relevant case, click on Files, and view the classified document that's been uploaded. Patrick Sullivan can see 3 documents in the channel for case 601. Inspector Bates has accidentally uploaded 2 force-only official sensitive files that he did not intend to share. Patrick Sullivan attempts to open one of these files. Azure Information Protection software prevents him from opening the files as they are marked force only. Patrick Sullivan now opens the file for case 601, which Inspector Bates intended him to see. As Inspector Bates has granted him access, his credentials are now accepted. He now has access to the information he needs to progress the case.